Ronnie Jurgenstein here for Mower Shield, your best defense against mower breakdowns. When your mower breaks down, and it will, who you gonna call, huh? Who? Ghostbusters? Gonna call your aunt? I don't think so. That's where Mower Shield comes in. For the measly little price of $50 a month, Mower Shield will protect you from breakdowns. So here's how it works. You take the mower to your favorite mechanic, and then he gets paid, and you get the mower back in no time, so you can cut that grace.
I didn't even know what Mower Shield was, but Ronnie told me I needed it, so I got it. Cheers, mate.
You're probably asking yourself, why? Why, Ronnie? Why do I need the Mower Shield? And that's a very good question that I will answer at a later time.
I bought a $150 push mower at the local store. The salesman told me to get Mower Shield. Good thing I did. 2 years later, the engine wouldn't start, and Mower Shield got it fixed. Rock on, Mower Shield.
The mower companies hate it, but the customer loves it.
I was crunching the numbers, and mathematically, for what it costs for yearly coverage, you could buy about 10 lawnmowers. But it's not about that. It's about that security. I need that protection that Mower Shield provides.
Get the protection you deserve from a name and a beautiful face you can trust. All you gotta do is call on the telephone or go online. You're naked out there right now, and you need that protection that Mower Shield provides. So call today.
What scam are you pulling now?
No scam. Call today.
Pterodactyl here, and today we're gonna work on this. Look at this thing, huh? This is what I call an ankle chopper. These things back in the day would chop your foot clear off. Now this has got a Clinton engine on it. And I was trying to determine the age of it, and I narrowed it down to probably 1946 or 1947. And how I arrived at that is by this tag here. Now look, back in the day, this was called the Clinton, not Clinton engines. And it was made by Clinton Machine Company in Michigan. The later Clinton engines were made in Clinton, Iowa. So that tells me this is the original, and they were in Clinton, Michigan from like 1946 to around 1950, I think. So that tells me 46 to 47. This is a 1.5 horse model engine, which is the first engine Clinton started making, was a 1.5 horsepower. This is the E700 model. E700A. There's not much information on it. Now the unit itself says J.A. Orr, Chicago, Illinois. And J.A. Orr, they kind of made like electrical products. They made like electric lawnmowers, electric edgers, and I guess at some point they made this, but I couldn't find any information on the Interscreen about this J.A. Orr company. So look at this. This is some old, primitive, crude technology back in the 40s. Look what they got for safety. Keep people away in front. So this thing looks to be pretty original. It's got that original little aluminum or aluminium pulley to wrap the rope around. It's got the real old air cleaner system, because on the later 700s they had a different air filter system. That's another reason I think it's from 46, 47. So we're gonna try to get it going. We're gonna see if we can get this thing running. So the first thing we're gonna do is check for spark. So first thing we're gonna wanna do, see what kind of oil we got in this thing. Well, oil looks clean. I wonder if this thing had been running and somebody just stored it. Yeah, look at the oil. It's not black, right at the right level. Let's take a look in the gas tank and see if it's all rusty. Ugh, cobwebs in there. The tank is clean. Got a little bit of rust, but it's not real rusty. Put that new ethanol fuel in there, that'll take care of that. That'll rust it right up. It's got a cork gasket inside the gas cap, and it's not all deteriorated. Not in bad shape for its age. So in order to be able to pull it faster and not have to pull against this ankle chopper, I'm going to take this belt off. It's not even that tight, the belt. It's a brand new belt, so somebody put a belt on it. And bearings are shot in this thing. Alright, I got my Briggs spark tester. I'm going to ground it to the head and get a good ground. I don't see any signs of a kill tab or anything that was on here to kill the motor, and there's no wire running from the coil. Oh, it does look like Fluffy'd been in here though. Yeah, there's a rat's nest under this cover. I had to pull that cover off. I wonder if this is even the original. No, this can't be. Well, maybe it is. It was painted. I've seen where people make these out of sticks and stuff. Alright. Let's see if we got spark. Boy, whoever designed this can make it easy to get this in here. And this little pulley to wrap the rope around isn't very big in diameter. Whoa, we got spark. Looked like it was hot blue spark too. Well, it feels like it's got compression. And I don't know how well the camera caught that spark. So I'm going to take the spark plug out. That'll make it even easier to pull. Alright, now get on that spark tester. Like I said, it's got hot spark. Alright, I'm going to give it a little help. Now I'm going to spray some penetrating lube in the spark plug hole. Pull it over a little bit. And let's see if this resistor, auto light resistor, this looks like the original plug. Let's see if we can get it to start with this original plug. I'm going to clean this, get that rust off of there, because that'll build up more resistance. And I'm going to clean this, make sure that's nice and clean. Now we'll give it a shot of some carb spray and see if it'll pop off. Okay, I cleaned up this on my wire wheel, and I actually took this off and sandblasted it. And I cut a little bit of the wire back and folded it over because it was all green. So that's like new. And then here we're going to take off this air cleaner. Okay, this is the air cleaner. Oh, it's one of them ribbon. They call it a ribbon air filter. This is what they used to use back in the day. You might have seen one of these on that wasp chainsaw video I did. That had a ribbon air filter in it. Ribbon, 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 ribbon. There's a little gasket under here. And this is our choke. Of course, there's no cable going to it, so I guess you had to reach down with one hand and hold it. And with the other hand, you had to pull that rope. Boy, what a primitive. It does have a mechanical governor system on it, though. It's not a air vane governor. Alright, let's see what happens if we spray some of this in there. It was leaking out through there. I guess that ain't sealed up too good. We'll wrap that rope on there. See what happens. It's gonna run. All right, well, the tank looks pretty clean. Let's, for the heck of it, put some dinosaur juice in there and open the gas valve and see what happens. No gas coming into this bowl. Let's see if I can get that off without wrecking it. Work on this old stuff. Better make sure you got plenty of penetrating oil. That sucker's on there. I don't want to break that. Oh, there we go. Oh, she's flowing now. All right. Might as well clean this out. Look at that. All nice and pretty, like brand new again. It's like 1946 all over again. it's not flowing is we're not getting any venting action to go through. If I break this nut loose, gas will probably start flowing through. So that tells me whatever's inside this carburetor is plugged up. So let's just go ahead and take these screws out and take this off and take a little peek inside. Wow, this is weird. Look at that. That's the float. A little sphere, a little ball, a brass ball. This is that gasket, air filter gasket. It's all distorted. Wasn't even sealing right. Probably had to make a new one out of some gasket paper. Because I'm sure I'm not going to be able to find one. So there must be some type of needle and seat up underneath here. Still no gas coming out. Well, I guess this gas valve is plugged up too. So I'll take that off. $1946. This is the needle and seat, and it appears to be working. That looks like the pickup tube. So I think all we got to do is just get gas to flow through this. So I'm going to take this off. Yeah, boogers. So there's some crap in there we got to clean out. Now I could just put one of those Briggs and Stratton ones on there, but I want to keep this original. So we're going to clean this one out. So I don't know what this is, just maybe looks like wings, bug wings or something. So now we can take this off since we got that all clean. Oh, look at that. Look at that nastiness. That's like the aluminium. And then this screen. And this gasket. It'd be nice to get this out without ruining it, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen. Have to put a rubber Briggs one back in. We want to get the screen out. Yeah, this is all. We're gonna have to soak that. Nastiness. Nastiness! This out. Should be a little packing in there. An O-ring, it looks like. We'll just put an O-ring back in. Well, let me clean it up. I may have to sandblast this too, we'll see. Might have to, might not. A little carb spray. A little wire brush action.
Why don't you put it in your ultrasonic cleaner, Taryl?
Because I ain't got all day to wait on this stupid screen when I can just do this. It's coming clean.
Maybe you put it in your ultrasonic cleaner.
Look at that. 1946 all over again. So I got it clean. So the way it works is the gas comes in here and it comes out these little holes, which were all plugged. And then when it fills up, then it comes out of here and goes to the carburetor. So this isn't an O-ring, this is a little packing, like I said. So we're gonna have to use that over. We'll drop that little packing back in there. And we'll get that started. And we'll stick this in there. Now we can go ahead and put a little pressure on that packing by tightening this nut. There we go. Now it's turning tight. Alright, we'll put our screen in. And then this is that Briggs rubber gasket for here.
What's the part number for that rubber gasket, Taryl? I'd like to have that number. I'd really like for you to put that number.
Alright, we'll put the number down there. Quit your whining.
Thank you, Taryl. Thank you. What was that part number now?
So I put a little Teflon tape on here. And look at this Teflon tape I got. Look at this. This looks like it's from 1946. Will seal. Teflon thread sealer. I forget where I got this stuff, but I got a bunch of those little tins with a bunch of different size Teflon tape in there. I didn't realize that Teflon tape had been around that long. We'll put this in. Back it up a little.
Aren't you gonna put some Teflon tape on there, Taryl? You put it on the other stuff. Why don't you put it on there?
Because I feel that I don't need it on there. If you want to put Teflon tape on yours, go ahead. I ain't stopping you. Do whatever you want. If it leaks, then I'll put some on. All right. See if we can get gas to come out. Let me open that up. Put some dinosaur juice in there and see what happens. No, it's filling up. Here she comes. All right. Now I'm going to shut it off. Okay. So let's take a look at this before we put it back on, up on the workbench. So this is a little flaky in here. And this is an adjustment, probably our high speed. Yeah, that looks like a high-speed needle. And then it looks like this is just a tube. Just a brass tube that meters the amount of fuel that goes through there. It looks like there's a cobweb on it. So let me get one of my tip cleaners and shove it through there. Oh yeah, it's just a tube. You can see. I don't know if you could see that in there. But there's some kind of cobweb. So let's shoot some carb spray through there. And here's a gasket here that's stuck to this. I think. Yeah. Or no. No, there's no gasket there. Alright, well I'm going to take this gasket off and I'm going to blast this. If I can get this screw out without stabbing myself in the hand. Now it says Zenith, so this is an old Zenith carburetor. Alright, that came off. That distorted gasket. And this is just a drain plug or the float bowl. Well, take it to my blast cabinet and give it a little blast in. I'm not going to blast it hard. I'm just going to try to get that chalkiness out of there. Cleaned up nice, didn't it? That's what's nice about having one of them blast cabinets. And then I cleaned up the needle too. And as you can see, it's got a brass nut. See, we couldn't see that before. It looked like it was all one piece. And there's a packing in there. But this is seized on there and we're going to have to get that freed up. Because that's how we're going to adjust. That must be 3/8. Alright, out of my way, cameraman. I got to get a 3/8 over here. No, that ain't 3/8. Alright, out of my way again. Oh, we're using the 11/32 again. I guess back in the day, they used to use the 11/32 a lot. There we go. Little lubricant, little sandblast action. And we got her freed up. Blast it off. In case there's any sandblast dust on there. See, a simple, just a real simple carburetor. That's all you needed back then. That's all you really need today. That's why this stuff ran forever. It wasn't all complicated. Now everything's all complicated. You like all that stuff in the car you got? Like all that GPS and all that power stuff and Bluetooth and all that? We don't have Bluetooth. We have no tooth. So let's reinstall this And I'll make this gasket later. Let's reinstall it and see if we can get it to...
Fired up, fired up, fired up, fired up.
Got it all hooked up, got the gas on, but I want to verify that there's gas in here. So I'm going to pull that little plug out or back it out so I see if some gas will come out. And I'm going to use my handy dandy Irwin screwdriver that I got from Briggs & Stratton. It's a pretty nice little screwdriver. You can take off the cap here. And look, there's all kinds of extra bits in there. And then it comes with this fat one, which is nice. And it's short and stubby. So let me see if I can get this out. Ugh. Oh yeah, there's gas. See? Gas coming out. Alright. So we know we got gas in the bowl. And it don't appear to be leaking. That old needle and seat is holding. So I'm gotta hold that with this hand. Boy, this is an awkward machine. I flooded it. I pulled it twice with the choke on. I figured it'd pop, and it didn't. I'm gonna turn on that exhaust fan before we die. Man, that thing sounds quiet for as old as it is. Got a little muffler, little muffkin. Little muffkin's out in the house right now, probably sleeping. Her and her brother, Blade Man. Yeah, that's quiet. And it ran good. Now you see what I did there? When I was adjusting the carburetor, I had it backed out pretty far so I could get it to start and run rich. Then I just slowly turned it in and it kept picking up speed and then it smoothed out. And then I turned it in to the point to where it started to die. So I knew, all right, I'm at, the maximum there, or the minimum, whatever you want to call it. And then I backed it out till it kind of smoothed out again, and I backed it out a little bit more. But I'm surprised. This thing is not leaking anywhere. Gotta take a look at this throttle control so we can get it throttle up and down. I'll probably put one of those stop tabs on here, those metal stop tabs to kill it. And by the engine running, kind of cleaned out most of that rat's nest in there, come shooting out of there. I can get in there with an air blower. Probably get most of it out. And then I was looking at this. This is weird. Look at this. It's like a piece of pipe and it's threaded. So that's why that thing was wiggling and wobbling. This thing was loose. But then when you tighten it down, it's kind of binding up the bearing. So maybe if I pump some grease in there, it might loosen it up. I thought the bearing was bad, but it was, this thing was loose. So we'll see about that. But boy, it ran good. That's why they don't make stuff like this anymore. You notice it didn't say Easy Works on it. It said The Clinton. All right, I done took the screw out. Now that I can move this, and you can see if I got enough throw on this throttle, I'll be able to get it to throttle up and down, and we can see how it idles. Even though I don't see any kind of, plus I can't see to begin with. Oh, here's the idle screw right here. So there's the idle screw. We'll leave it where it's at because I'm sure it'll work. So I gotta unbend this cable they got all, somebody's got it all hodgepodge. Here we go. I mean, it does work. I sprayed some lube on the outside. I think if I just straighten it out, put a Z-bend on it, even though the hole in here is kind of big, I don't know if they had some kind of sleeve or something in there. It'd be nice to have some kind of choke too, other than reaching over there, but again, things were kind of crude back then. People weren't afraid to reach down and grab the choke. Now you gotta have everything hooked to your phone so you can turn your lights on and
Alexis, do this. Alexis, do that. Unlock my car. Alexis, come in here and wipe my butt.
you wouldn't catch me with one of them stupid things. Alexis, or Alexa, or whatever it's called.
Alexis, change the channel. I'm lazy. Alexis.
Oh, I know what I'll put on the end of there. I think I got something that might work. So I think I can make one of these work. One of these cable snivvy things they call them. I think that'll work.
Alexa, fix my lawnmower.
I'd like to see Alexis do that. Or what's the other one? Isn't there another one they got too? Bob or something. Bob! Hey, Bob! I know there's another one that you can talk to that one of them other companies make. There we go. Oh, she done slipped through up here. Got to put the Z-bend in it. All right, let me take this end out and put a Z-bend in it, and then we'll get this thing to work like it's supposed to. So here's my Z-bender for those of you that don't know.
What is a Z-bender?
You'll see. First you gotta break the end of the old cable off. And we sell these on our web store. See? Puts that Z-bend in there. That ZZ top bend. So this hole is kind of wore out from using it over, you know, that long period of time, 60 some years ago, 70 years ago, however old it is. So I got my drill gauge and I stuck it over the wire, and 5/64 is a good size. So I'm going to drill a 5/64 hole right next to the old one. This is aluminium, this little handle here. Working good now. Good for another 74 years. Because during the break we figured out 46 to 2020. I'm going to cut just a little bit off the end because it's sticking out. I mean, back in 46 they would have left that hanging out because they didn't care if you got stabbed by it. You would have went back and said, this stupid thing just keeps stabbing me. Oh well, it's supposed to stab you. Things aren't supposed to be safe this time in history. Let's fire it up, see if it'll idle down. Okay, we got our cable working, and to keep it more like the period, I put these old school cable or conduit clips on there, because this is what they would have had. They wouldn't have had zip ties back in 46. And I got these from Rotary. They make them in 7/8 and 3/4. The part number for 7/8 is 252, and if you got 3/4 pipe, it's 251. And then I put a shorting clip on there, and we'll give you the part number for that, 135-038. Now I'm not going to choke it or nothing. Let's see if it'll start without choking it. I'm all dead inside. Alright, so next we gotta tackle that little blade spindle on there. Then we'll go out and chop some snow because it's February. So now I'm gonna take this apart because as soon as I tighten that up, it starts to bind up. Now, this screw, I hope it comes out. It looks like it's rusted. Oh, it came right out. Let's make sure it's not backed up with another one. And then we'll do the old air hammer trick. Okay, we got that off. Take that keyway out. There, side cutters work good for that. Let's unscrew this and see what's inside. Looks like a piece of, that's what that is, a pipe cap that they drilled a hole in. Ingenuity. Well, might have to take this little deflector off they got on the bottom. That's what keeps this thing, when you got it on the ground and you start it, that's what keeps it from taking off on you. And that's just held on with a big nut on the back. So we'll take that off, see if I can knock that shaft out. Try my plastic hammer first. That ain't doing nothing. There's got to be some kind of bearing in there. I know there's a bearing in the bottom. This has got to be a bearing in the top. It's probably just seized up. Get the old penetrating oil out, see what happens. A pair of channel locks. That's what it was. Just old grease. Alright. Put this back on and then we'll pump it full of grease. Look at this spindle, huh? Crude, but effective. And simple. Now another thing we're going to have to address is making the belt tight to spin this thing. And this deck part is just these pipes slid onto some rods. And of course they're rusted on there. And I'm looking at how did they keep tension on this? No springs or anything in there. So I'm thinking, to make it simple, I'll probably drill some holes in here and I'll weld some nuts on there and I'll put some bolts. And then what we'll do is we'll pry off of here to make the belt tight and then tighten down the bolts, which will push on them rods. But first we have to get this removed off of here. And we'll do my heat quench trick, which I got a video on, for removing rusty parts. So we're gonna heat this up cherry red with the oxygen and amphetamine torch. And then we're gonna quench it with water and it should slide right off. But first we're gonna finish this spindle. So let me get my grease gun and we'll grease that up real good. So before I pump it full of grease, I'm gonna warm this up a little bit with my torch, my propane torch, not my oxygen and amphetamine. Kind of soften up that old grease. And then this is a handy dandy tool to have. If you don't know about this, it's called Lock and Lube. Now they didn't give this to me. I bought this when I saw this. This is nice because it's all metal, it ain't plastic, and it locks on to the grease fitting. Lock and lube, like lock and load. So we'll pump a bunch of, look at all that old crap coming out of there. Probably ain't been greased in 74 years. Well, let's say 72 years, because maybe they greased it the first couple of years. All right. I'll get a pipe wrench, snug that down. And then we'll get the oxygen amphetamine torch out and bust that jack part off of there. Keep this up cherry red. Well, this side's freed up. Yeah, that side's moving. Penetrate oil. Sometimes you gotta work it back and forth. Shove it back on, pull it off again, start working it, and then it'll break free. This side's definitely loose. Find a good spot to. It went back on. Moving. Oh, look at there. And off she came. There's your dinner. Clean them up. Looks like they got little grease grooves in there. So I'll go ahead, like I said, I'll drill 2 holes in there. I'll weld on some nuts. And we'll be able to put tension on that belt. I'm going to drill some 17/64 holes in there for a 1/4-inch bolt. And then I'm going to weld 1/4-inch nuts on there. So here's another handy dandy tool. This spring-loaded center punch, which I got from my cousin Gerald Jack. He's good for something. He ain't good for much. But he did give me this. And I use this all the time. I love this thing. Because it puts a good divot in there. And then if you want, you can even hit it with a hammer. Just whoever came up with this is a genius. I've had those other ones where you push and it clicks. They don't work too good. Stupid drill. There we go. That other divot I made. All right. Now we got weld. Might as well sharpen the blade too while we're at it. Just a little safer. Now this blade got an edge on both sides. So when you dull one side, you can always flip it over and use the other side.
Taryl, you should have took the blade off and sharpened it. Why are you sharpening it on there?
Because that's what I want to do. Because it's me, and that's what I'm doing. All right, we got to never seize them pins and slide this back on. Slather it up. Slather, slather. Slather, 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 slather. All right, let's slide her back on. Oh, it fits pretty good. Here's our bolts. Now, who knows how they had this? Maybe they had big springs in there to put tension on it. I don't know, because I can't find any information on this thing. You know why? Because it's old. Alright, old and dangerous like me. Now, did you know the twist you put in one of these belts, you can make something run forward or backward. So if you got the twist wrong, when you do something like this, that'll determine which way it'll spin. So we got our twist that way. So here, I'll show you. Let me twist it the other way. So this is the way the motor would start, see? Spinning it backwards. So remember that when you're messing with stuff. Alright, now let me get my pry bar, my wrench, and my block of wood. My block of wood. Now, here's my block of wood. Gonna lay it on its back. Get that tight. I get my wrench tight now, so I don't need that on there. All right. Now we got one other thing to do, and that's to put the air filter back on. And I was able to repair that old gasket. I soaked it in water, made it all priable, and then I put it back to shape. But I want to talk to you about what's called a ribbon air filter, which is what they used on a lot of stuff back in the day, chainsaws and stuff. So we're going to go on the bench and we're going to talk about the Skinner ribbon air filter. I think that's the guy's name that invented it, Skinner. Shut the gas off. So as you can see, I was able to fix that air cleaner gasket. We're not going to silicone or anything on there, just in case the guy who owns this wants to sandblast this and paint it. He could use that original gasket over it. So this is a ribbon air filter. And how it's made is, it's made out of spiral winding of ribbon or tape, which is made out of like a crepe paper. And then they impregnate that ribbon or tape with phenolic resin. And if you don't know what phenolic resin is, that's a synthetic resin they used to use back in the day. You ever hear of Bakelite? That's phenolic resin. and phenolic meaning formaldehyde. That's what the PHE is short for, formaldehyde. So that's a ribbon element. And that's how they were made. And they don't make them like that anymore. Found something. Plastic bag. Well, there you have it. Works pretty good. I noticed a couple other things I didn't point out. It's got adjustable wheels on it. It's got several places to move the wheels. And the handle is adjustable. You can raise it up a little bit higher. I mean, it is a crude machine, but I'm sure in 1946, 47, this was like state of the art back then. I bet you people were like drooling over that. Oh, look at that. I can really chop some weeds with that thing, man. Look at it there. Man, that thing is sweet. I gotta get me one of them weed choppers. A little hard to start, like I said, trying to pull against that belt. But if you know anything about these weed choppers, later on, they made it where there was a lever to engage that to tighten the blade, tighten the belt on the blade so you could start it. It took me quite a few pulls to get it started out there. But once it fired up, it did what it was supposed to do. So there you have it. There's your late mid-40s J.A. Orr ankle chopper with the Clinton 700 engine on it. So subscribe to this YouTube channel, follow me with your ankle cutter on Facebook and Instagram. Go to our web store, buy some of this Taryl apparel because you're going to want to look good when you're out there cutting weeds. And as always, there's your dinner. Woo! J.A.R. Ankle cutter with the Clinton 700 motor, 1.5 horsepower. What a beauty. Ready to be stripped down and painted now. Or put in an Applebee's.
Oh, hey, Taryl. I want to drop this old mower off here and have it repaired. Don't worry, it's covered. I got Mower Shield, baby. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Anthony. I see you got no shield on this thing.
What? No, not the mower. Mower Shield. You know, they got the commercials on the TV. You pay the $50. When the mower breaks down, you take it to your favorite mechanic, in this case you. Then they reimburse you. You know what I'm talking about. Come on.
No idea what you're talking about. If you want that thing fixed, you're gonna have to pay me.
What? What are you saying, Mower Shield's a scam? But they've been running Ronnie's tapes all day on the TV. Next you're gonna tell me Blower Shield's a scam too. That one's only 20 clams a month.
Ronnie? He's the biggest scammer in town. I think you just got taken for a ride, Anthony.
Oh, wait till I get my hands on this Ronnie. He's gonna be chip beef on toast. Capiche?
You know, he's right out back in that shed out there.
Huh. This one right back here, eh? Alright, I'm gonna go pay him a little visit. Thanks for the tip, Taryl.
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, Ronnie, open up.
Oh, yeah. Just a minute. Oh, come on in.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Ronnie? Hey, what's up?
How we doing?
Hey,
Oh, no, you don't. No.
Not a happy customer.